Thank you. I'd just like to go ahead and ask if there's any members of the Public Facilities and Arts Commission in here to go ahead and join us at the podium. Director Oliver. A resolution recognizing the retirement of Metro Nashville Public Library Director Kent Oliver. Whereas after a 51 career in public libraries, Nashville Public Library Director Kent Oliver will retire on July 22nd, 2022. Whereas Kent Oliver received his bachelor's degree from Washburn University in Topeka, Kansas, and his master's degree in library science from Emporia State University in Emporia, Kansas.
Whereas Oliver started his career as a reference librarian at the Topeka Public Library in Topeka, Kansas. He served as head of public services at the Daniel Boone Regional Library in Columbia, Mississippi, library director at the Olathe Public Library in Olathe, Kansas, associate director for branch services for the Johnson County Library in Overland Park, and library director at the Stark County District Library in Canton, Ohio. And
whereas Oliver joined Nashville Public Library in 2012 after the Nashville Public Library Board unanimously voted to approve his hiring. And whereas under his leadership, Nashville Public Library has expanded its community education initiatives in health, digital, citizenship, and adult literacy, and has grown its nationally recognized partnership with Metro Nashville Public Schools. And whereas the library's footprint has also grown under Oliver's leadership with new locations in Bellevue and Southeast Nashville and a new Donaldson Branch Library set to open in 2024. And
whereas during Oliver's career, Nashville Public Library built and renovated several Metro Nashville Public Schools libraries, and its partnership with MNPS called Limitless Libraries gives Metro students access to over 2 million books and materials. And whereas in 2017, the Library Journal named Nashville Public Library Library of the Year, the best public library in the United States and Canada, a coveted and highly prestigious award. Whereas that same year, Nashville Public Library eliminated all overdue fines for greater community accessibility. And whereas public libraries play a critical role in society and as spaces where people can attain knowledge, serve as community gathering places, and serve as a defender of the public's First Amendment rights. Whereas Kent Oliver dedicated his career to people and the freedom to read, he is a 3-time president of the Freedom to Read Foundation and previously chaired the Intellectual Freedom Committee of the American Library Association. His writings on intellectual freedom and the First Amendment have appeared in numerous publications, including Forbes, The Tennessean, and whereas it is fitting and proper that the Metropolitan Council recognizes Kent Oliver upon his retirement and thanks him for his many years of dedicated service to the people of Nashville and Davidson County. Now, therefore, it be it resolved by the Council of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County that the Metropolitan County Council hereby goes on record as honoring Kent Oliver upon the occasion of his retirement as Director of Nashville Public Library. This resolution shall take effect from and after its adoption, the welfare of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County requiring it. Congratulations.
I'm humbled by this recognition. We have a lot of great public servants here in Metro government, and it's been a pleasure to serve with you. It's been especially an honor to serve with this Metro Council as I've seen the support for the library grow, and I've always felt like we have a friend in Metro Council in the mayor's office. So thank you very much for this recognition.
Always do that.
I know, I blew it. And this is my wife, Diane, who's put up with me for the last 50 years doing this.
Not quite 50.
Congratulations. Oh, here we go. Thank you very much.
We expect you to put that up at the Ozarks.
Oh, we will. You'll be at the Ozarks. Stuff like that.
Congratulations.
Hey.
What is your? What do you mean?
Councilmember Syracuse.
Thank you, Pro Tem. I have a very special presentation today that is going to conclude with an even more special presentation. And we are here to read and recognize Resolution RS 2022-1543, a resolution recognizing the Liverpool International Song Contest Road to Nashville 22. And if I could ask the team to gather around me, thanks very much. I'll start and have my colleagues join me. Whereas this year, the Liverpool International Song Contest Road to Nashville will be bringing the music cities of Nashville and Liverpool together officially for the first time, while supporting tens of thousands of songwriters and musicians from around the world who are struggling with their mental health. And
whereas the Liverpool International Song Contest began last year and was hosted by Liverpool City Council and global charity the Unity of Faith Foundation in recognition of John Lennon's 80th birthday, whereas the aim of this event is to spread kindness and unity through a song contest. Last year resulted in over 20,000 submissions from 28 countries. All entrants were offered mental health counseling from their local area if needed. The final took place with worldwide coverage at the famous Cavern Club, the home stage of the Beatles. And
Whereas the winner will receive this. Whereas this year, the 7-month event will again culminate in a live final with judging panel of international songwriters, including songwriters from Nashville, on October 9th, 2022. The final will take place at the legendary Exit Inn on Nashville's historic rock block. The Exit Inn's 50-year history as the stage of the creative working class is the perfect home for this event. The BBC and CBS will cover the event, turning this global spotlight on Nashville, Tennessee. And whereas the winner will receive a recording experience in one of Nashville's famous studios, the chance to perform in Nashville at a songwriter's night will also be flown to Liverpool to perform at the Cavern Club.
And whereas the Liverpool International Song Contest highlights original materials of songwriters and musicians, has infrastructure to support participants with mental health conditions while submitting their songs. The application form will offer mental health services to all entrants, and whereas entrants will be offered mental health counseling from their local area in whatever city or country they are in. Counseling will be confidential and coordinated by TUF, the charity behind this event, and their psychologist outreach team. And whereas this is a historic moment for Music City, the passing of the Beatles microphone from the Cavern Club in Liverpool to the Exit Inn in Nashville, and the creation of a worldwide unifying project that will help musicians after the unprecedented hardship regarding mental health that may have struggled with during the pandemic. And whereas, pick it up right there.
Whereas TUF has been a bridge of unity between Liverpool and Nashville, and this contest will continue to strengthen this bond. And
so whereas the Metropolitan Council of Nashville and Davidson County supports the Liverpool International Song Contest Road to Nashville 2022 and welcomes the participants to Nashville. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County, Section 1, that the Metropolitan Council hereby goes on record as showing their support for the Liverpool International Song Contest Road to Nashville 2022 on October 9th, 2022. And Section 2, this resolution shall take effect from and after its adoption, the welfare of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County requiring it. I'd like to invite Dr. Shamandra Tawar, who is the co-founder of TUF and this initiative, to say a few words and hand off a very special representation of this entire initiative. Doctor.
Thank you, Councilman Syracuse. Thank you, Nashville, for embracing us and making us family. From all of us from Liverpool, it's a huge historic moment where two of the historic music cities have come together to support every single musician and songwriter on the planet. This particular Road to Nashville Song Contest has that infrastructure to support every single musician and songwriter. Because when they submit their songs, they will have an opportunity to speak to a life coach or a psychologist in their locality, in their town, in their city, anywhere in the world. So once again, I'd like to thank all our partners, who are obviously Liverpool City Council, the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County. Thank you so much. Visit Music City, Musicians Hall of Fame and Museum, the Exit Inn, BMI, SAE Institute globally, the Cavern Club, whom, as you can see, this amazing piece of history has come along with us, the Middle Tennessee State University, the BBC, who covered us for over 35 million people, the Country Music Association, Porter's Call. And I'd like to greatly thank PLA Media, Pamela Lewis, who's the president of that, who's been the backbone of this incredible bridge between all of us. And on behalf of all of us, all the partners, Pamela, thank you so much. And I'd like to thank also Sarah Johnson, who's representing SA Nashville. And a big, incredible thank you to our champion, Jeff Syracuse. Because without this man, I came here with a dream. I had the whole weight of Liverpool and United Kingdom on my shoulders. And this guy just lifted it up like this and made it possible for all of us. Thank you to all the councilmen, Robert as well. Thank you so much for that as well. So Gina's there as well. Where's Gina? Where is she? There she is as well. So thank you, everybody. Thank you. If I missed anybody out, I apologize. But on behalf of everybody from Liverpool, United Kingdom, and every single musician and songwriter on the planet, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. So the special mic of unity, or the Beatles mic of unity, I want to call, is this is a special piece of history. This is the actual mic that was used at the Cavern Club when the four boys got together and sang all these incredible songs, you know, the Can't Buy Me Loves or Love Me Do, many other songs, as you know. And the Cavern Club and Liverpool City Council thought, we've got to pass a baton, we've got to pass something on to Nashville, like the Olympic torch. But why not the Beatles mic? So that's why we call this mic now the mic of unity, from Liverpool to Nashville with all our heart. I'd like to hand this over now to Vice Mayor. Thank you so much.
I'm scared to touch it. I'm scared to touch it. I don't want to drop it. And I'm going to take it to the front. And then I take it home with me after that? No. Now, where does it go after this?
On your desk for now.
On my desk for now. Okay, we'll make sure that we keep it in good, safe condition, and we will protect it. This is quite an honor. Thank you very much.
No, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, picture.
Where are you running off?
That was awesome. Announcements? Councilmember Welsh.
Thank you very much, Pro Tem. We have a lot going on in District 16, so thank you for this opportunity to let people know. First of all, we are hosting a hygiene drive to collect hygiene products for students in the district that are in need of them. most people don't think about the fact that hygiene items sometimes are actually a privilege to have, and a lot of our students in metro schools cannot afford them. So we are doing a hygiene drive. We are collecting items through August 5th at the Thompson Lane Library. There's a list of what we are hoping to collect, enough to fill 800 bags. You can find that list on my Facebook page, but we will gratefully accept anything that you would like to donate, so please participate if you can. The next installment of Coffee and Gin is on Saturday, August 6th from 9 to 11 at the District Coffee House on Sidco Drive. Come on by, talk about anything you want, or say whatever you want to say to me. I'll be there with coffee in hand and love to do it. We are also having a blood drive on August 25th between 9 and 2. This blood drive was actually originally scheduled for September, but the Red Cross called us and asked us to move it up because we are facing a massive blood shortage here in Middle Tennessee. So I would encourage everyone to give blood, even if you go to the Red Cross before this drive, or in this drive, but please, if you can, give blood. That, again, is at the Thompson Lane Library on August 25th. You can email Lindsay Jensen at the library to set up a time. We're booking people in 15-minute increments. And finally, just a reminder that early voting is going on, and the ballot is quite large. If you've gotten your sample ballot, you know that, 17 pages. You can go to my Facebook and find a way to pare down that ballot so you will see only the elections that you will be voting in, because the sample ballot contains Democratic primaries, Republican primaries, general election, judicial appointments. You can cut out what you're not actually going to be voting on and see what you will be voting on when you do vote. And just a reminder, if you are voting absentee, you have one more week to send in your ballot, but you need more than one stamp. It costs 78 cents to mail in your absentee ballot, and it will be returned to you and not delivered if you don't have the correct postage. So please make sure you get that extra 20-cent stamp so that absentee ballot is counted. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Gamble.
Thank you, Pro Tem. I'd like to announce that there will be a District 3 quarterly meeting on July 26th at 6 p.m. at the Parkwood Community Center. That's 3220 Bellevue Drive. We will be discussing a proposed development on Hickory Hills Road, which is north of Old Hickory Boulevard. We'll also have representatives there from Metro Water, NDOT, and the District Attorney's Office. So hopefully you all will come out on July 26th at 6 p.m. at the Parkwood Community Center. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Hurt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to first announce that the National Black Caucus of Locally Elected Officials will be convening here in Nashville from July 21st through the 23rd for the summer conference. I am so pleased to serve as the national president of that organization. We're going to have workshops and just a wonderful agenda of activities for us to participate in, and thank all of the council members who have already registered and are willing to attend some of those events. And particularly, I want to speak on the Thursday night reception that the council members are going to be sponsoring with those and welcoming all of our elected officials across the country. I believe that we have about 178 that were registered a couple of days ago, which is more. They actually thought it was going to be, they had a goal of 150. So they've exceeded that, and this is the largest crowd that they've been able to convene for a summer conference. So I'm very pleased that it happened here in Nashville. And I also would like to say that on that Friday, there's going to be a President's Gala at the National Museum of African American Music, and just a night of fun and great people and all of those things. On Saturday, we will be closing the event with the 22nd Annual Jefferson Street Jazz and Blues Festival that's going to be held at Fisk University. The doors will open at 4, and the music begins at 5. We are going old school. We've got the Carlton Taylor Trio starting at 5. Then we have Higher Ground. Those are 2 local bands. And then we'll bring in the Manhattans, Mike Phillips and Bobby Rush. So we got some jazz and blues and R&B for everyone to come out and enjoy. food vendors and just wonderful people and the love and spirit of Fisk University. So I want to give them a shout out. And we can ask you to go to the Jefferson Street Jazz and Blues Festival if you want any more information. Jefferson Street Jazz and Blues Festival.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Bradford.
Thank you, Mr. Pro Tem. Just got 3 announcements for those in District 13. First of all, this Saturday, July 23rd, I will be joining some of the neighbors on Good Bar in District 13 for a community cleanup. That begins at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we'll be meeting at the community center there on Good Bar. Secondly, I have my quarterly town hall tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at Arlington United Methodist Church. I will have guests from Metro Waste Services to talk about recycling and representatives from the planning department to discuss what is a contextual overlay and what are they good for. So I invite everybody to make time to come out for that. I'll also have another community meeting next week for members of the Ortega community who have questions about annexation and trash pickup. So if you live on Ortega Road, please mark your calendars for next Thursday at 6 o'clock at Whitworth Baptist Church. And just one last thing, there is a school board forum tomorrow night being hosted by the Donaldson Hermitage Neighborhood Alliance for school board districts 4 and 6 at the Hermitage Police Precinct. So please if you're in the area, make plans to attend that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Evans.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just wanted to make everybody aware on Tuesday, July the 26th, here in the council chambers, the Public Health and Safety Committee will be hosting a second special called meeting on fentanyl and the opioid crisis in Davidson County. It will be live streamed on the Metro Nashville network. I encourage any family members who have lost children or relatives to opioids to please come and sit in the gallery, and that way you can share your stories after the session. But I look forward to people attending and having more conversation about this serious issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Taylor.
Thank you, Pro Tem. I want to announce a community meeting for the Cumberland Gardens community on Monday, July 25th at 6 p.m. at St. Luke CME Church at 2008 Ed Temple Boulevard. We're going to have a quick discussion on traffic calming awards. And then secondly, we're going to have a big discussion over contextual overlay in their community. Again, on Monday, July 25th, 6 p.m., St. Luke CME Church, Cumberland Gardens Community Meeting.
Thank you, Councilmember. Any other announcements? Councilmember Evans, reprise.
Thank you. I just actually wanted to gently correct my colleague, Councilman Bradford, because the DHNA School Board Forum is Thursday. It is not tomorrow night. And I got confused and wanted to correct that for everybody. Thursday night at 7 at the police precinct.
Deal. Thank you. Great. All right. Council meeting in 7 minutes.